They say being rich means being happy. But here's the truth they never show in magazines or on the red carpet. I'm Rhea Kapoor. I'm 17. My dad's a billionaire real estate mogul. My mom? You've probably seen her in movies, she's that glamorous. On the outside, we were the perfect family. But behind our gates was a secret that nearly cost me my life and my heart. I always thought my parents had the perfect love story. The tycoon meets the rising star. They fell in love, got married, had me, and built an empire. I lived in a mansion with more rooms than I could count. A driver took me to school in a black Mercedes. I wore designer clothes before I could even spell Gucci. But wealth came with rules. My dad was controlling. My mom, always busy. I saw her more on magazine covers than at the dinner table. Still, I learned to smile for the cameras. Until the night it all started unraveling. It began with a photo. I was in Mom's dressing room one evening, borrowing her heels for a secret party I wasn't allowed to attend. I opened a drawer looking for lipstick. That's when I saw it, a black and white photo, faded, folded, and hidden under scarves. It was of a man, holding me as a baby, but it wasn't my dad. And my mom, she looked so different, younger, scared. On the back, it said in her handwriting, "To my little girl, forgive me if I disappear." Disappear? I froze. My mother never said anything about disappearing, or any other man. That night at dinner, I couldn't stop staring at her. She laughed with my father like nothing was wrong. I was silent. Dad noticed. "Rhea, you okay?" "Yeah, just school stuff." "Don't let small things stress you. Stress makes you weak." That was Dad's motto. In his world, emotions were weakness. So I stayed quiet, but my heart was screaming. The next day I skipped school and went to visit my Mom's mother. She lived in an old villa outside the city. She rarely visited us, but she always smiled too widely when she did. "Rhea, is something wrong?" "Who was the man in this photo?" Her face drained of color. She didn't answer. She just stared at it. "So you found it," she whispered. That's when she told me. The truth I never saw coming. My mom had a fiancé before she met my dad. A man named Karen. He was a writer, a dreamer, and the love of her life. But he wasn't rich. So when my grandfather demanded she marry my father, powerful, rich, and ambitious, she broke it off. She married my dad. And then, months later, she found out she was pregnant. "It might have been Karen's child," Grandma said. "Might be?" I asked, my voice shaking. "Your mother was never sure. But your father raised you as his own, on one condition, that Karen disappeared." My heart dropped. Was I not my dad's daughter? I returned home trying to act normal, but everything felt off. I kept thinking, was Dad dangerous? Was that why Karen had to disappear? The next few days were a blur of tension. My mom avoided eye contact. My dad grew stricter. He even fired my favorite tutor for being too friendly. And then came Arav. He transferred to my school like a storm, confident, rebellious, and mysterious. His dad was some investor from Dubai. No one knew much, but when he looked at me, it felt like he already knew me. We started talking. At first, just harmless flirting, then late-night calls. Then he asked, "Do you ever feel like you don't belong in your own house?" How did he know? We met secretly at a rooftop cafe. One evening, he pulled out an old photograph. My heart skipped. It was the same man, the one from my mom's photo. "That's my dad," he said. His name was Karen. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Karen, the same man, his father. My maybe father? Arav looked at me with eyes so familiar they hurt. "I think you're my sister," he whispered. My world stopped. I ran. I ran out of the cafe, down the street, away from everything. How could this be? I liked him. No more than liked. I had told him things I never told anyone, and now he was possibly my half-brother? When I got home, I broke down. I confronted my mom. She cried harder than I'd ever seen. "I didn't know, Rhea. I swear. I didn't know Karen had a child. I thought he was gone for good." My father entered mid-argument, and for the first time ever, I saw fear in his eyes. "You found him, didn't you?" he said. "You made him disappear," I screamed. I protected this family, he roared. He was going to take you away. I realized in that moment my dad didn't raise me. He possessed me. That night, I packed my bags and left. I stayed with Arav and his mom for a few days. We did DNA tests. And the results? We weren't siblings. I'd never cried so hard from relief and heartbreak at the same time. Because by then, I knew I loved him. With the truth out, everything changed. My mom filed for divorce. The press had a field day. Golden couple collapses. Actress leaves tycoon over past secret. My dad tried to silence the media, but it was too late. I moved out with my mom and started a new school. Arav transferred too. And this time, we didn't have to hide. Sometimes, we walk through old neighborhoods, hand in hand, and wonder how different life could have been. But I know this. The money, the fame, the cameras, none of it matters when your heart is empty. And sometimes, the truth hurts more than any lie. But it also sets you free. So no, being rich doesn't make life perfect. But learning to love, to question, to stand up for the truth, that's what makes life real. I'm Rhea Kapoor.